Is Scarlett coming? All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. This is the Village of Biscayne Park Planning and Designing Review Board meeting for Monday, February 24th, 2025. It is now 6:31. Do the roll call to Edward Leyva. Here. David Gruen. Here. Gage Hartung here, as well as Denisha from the Building Department. Scarlett is not here yet, so, but Pablo did send a message that he was not going to be here, so I can get a.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
David Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Pablo's excused, and hopefully Scarlett will show up shortly. If not, we'll come back to her at the bottom of the meeting. So let's go ahead with everybody that's here tonight, and we'll take everybody in order of the agenda that's checked in. I believe everyone has. First will be 5A, 890 Northeast 117th Street, replacement of fence, Manny Lopez. Sure. You'd like to go up to the microphone, if we have any questions for you.
You know why it was old business?
Looking for.
Testing.
Would be the
So I think you were, I think this was in front of us. You applied for both sides, if I remember correctly, and then
Yes, sir.
we denied one side, and so you went ahead with the western side?
No,
No, that's not it? No?
no,
Oh, was it? Okay.
we replaced some slabs.
So I'm thinking of another property. My apologies.
Yeah. So this is kind of is after the fact permit.
What was missing?
I did set it up in the O system, and then when after the hearing, it was during the time that you guys had released the new CAD, I think it's called,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
CAP, yeah. And then what it seemed like everything was transferred over from the application through everything else that was accepted, with the exception of the dimensions, which then I submitted.
it's two sections, both under 6 feet, one at 25.5 feet, one at 8. Looks like that's the two diagonals. What color? I mean, have you? It's wood, I assume. That's the-
Yes, yes.
Maybe it's because the fence that he's showing on
the bottom.
the Northeast 117th, but the other side is going out to the property.
The 9th Avenue?
Yeah.
Is that 9th? So the back fence comes out from the back by the car, by the driveway,
Yes.
and then it comes all the way out to the property line?
So the property line, correct.
Okay. So that's the issue, is that that fence is not allowed to be closer than, hold on, how high are you? 6
Well, that part
Okay.
is 6 feet, but is there a fence that runs parallel to that street?
Parallel?
Sorry, because it's not the best resolution, but
No.
not in 17th Street.
Along 9th Avenue, between the back of the house and the back property line, is there a fence that runs along?
No, it doesn't run along.
This fence just kind of goes out and stops? There's no, it doesn't connect to anything?
yeah, it stops
hedge or
where
anything,
it's
or?
it stops where the hedge kind of starts. So my backyard, the one that's parallel to 9th is hedges.
Okay.
Yeah, so it may have been denied previously because that fence that you're putting on that side is not permitted to come all the way out to the property line.
It was
Setbacks on that side depending on the height of the fence.
it was there originally. I mean, it's the original fence with and it went through.
There, it's non-conforming, then what?
No, it went through the permitted process from the previous owner.
I don't think.
Yeah, if anything, it's got more lenient, but it's still a 5 foot, 8 foot fence which means that it can't be closer than 7 feet to the property line. So it's technically a 6-foot fence. I mean, 5'8". I mean, if we wanted to, we could
And
make it
that,
5 feet.
that fence right there, yeah, sure. Yeah. So, in essence, this, if it goes, you see how on the drawing, it goes all the way out to the property line. Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, so do you know roughly, because that looks like it might say 30 feet, do you know roughly what that distance is? Because it
Is-
looks like the actual fence length, that's over there is only 18 feet. of
It's
like-
saying 18.25.
Yeah, what he's indicating is that it, like, that it only goes between half to maybe 2/3, that the bush comes back towards the house, so that the fence isn't the full duration of. the
Correct.
side. It looks like it might be like a 30-foot
Um,
from the. fuzzy
Yeah, I
line.
can't read that
Yeah.
dimension 9, that number right there.
yeah, it's 18.25
18.25 is
Yes.
the full distance house.
to the, yeah, from the, yeah, correct.
Okay, so, and you're, because you wrote in here that the fence is 18.25, so are you saying that the fence is really only like 12 feet, or that the fence actually is 18?
The fence is actually 18.25.
So then it is going all the way out to the property. That's what that 18.25
Mm.
indicates, is going through the property.
Let me see where the property
that's
line is. Hold on.
From the corner of the house to the property line is,
That's why I'm saying, to me, it looks like 30.
the bottom, it said 75, right? The width of the property there.
Yeah.
So extrapolating, it's about a third of that. Probably close to 25 feet from the corner of the house to the,
That
to the
back
street.
corner, that's tucked away in the back, the very back corner. With it looks like it runs
The
along,
one
Oh,
that
but-
the
runs along the driveway.
fence connecting to, right? The
Yeah,
Yeah.
the back corner of the
What you're
house.
saying is this is 75, and this is roughly a third of that, which would make.
There's dimensions there. I mean, we could just add up to the dimensions.
Yeah, but we can't read
I
it.
can't
Besides
read it. It's,
75.
it's,
I know they're on the survey if you had a better copy, but do you have this drawing with you by any chance? Because the resolution on the scan is very.
Survey, yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
survey.
I have the same survey and it is, when you zoom in, it makes it a little bit difficult to read.
Very polite way of putting it.
Yeah, but it doesn't go to the actual property line because the hedge kind of makes an L.
okay.
So the
So
hedge-
we just need you to signify that it does not go any closer than, if you want, we can give them 5 feet,
Yeah,
5.8 feet. I mean, it's, so it's,
the other thing we could have him do, we could have him go and take a picture of it, and when he comes back with it, vote on it then. when we're confident.
well, he just has to testify that it's no closer than 5 feet. He's saying that it returns back a little bit.
Yeah.
That's fine. So but we just need you to tell us what that dimension is.
Okay.
How far back from the property line does it sit? And then, we can, vote on that. But for right now, if it goes out to the property line, we would have to vote no on it because there's a setback issue
Yeah,
that is, in play there.
okay,
I wish this drawing was in a better resolution that we could actually read it.
yeah.
It kind of looks like 30.
Yeah, that's what I said.
30.
Yeah.
I-
So if 30 minus 18, I mean, he would have enough room. We just have to have that documented that the fence does not come any closer than 5 feet to that side property line.
Um, Yeah, I was hoping I had a better resolution for that particular document, but I think I have the same thing you guys have. It's pretty,
So we're going to be here probably for an hour to two.
okay,
You would like to run home and measure it? Come back to us. We can
Okay.
pick you back up and then if you can.
Is he measuring like the distance off the corner of the house? Because he's not gonna know where his property line is.
Well, he's got, the fence is there. He
Here,
built the fence.
actually here.
No, but he knows that measurement. It's 18 foot something, right?
18.
We
Yeah.
know what the fence is. The
Yeah,
question
yeah.
is
You have
where's-
this survey at home in a better resolution?
This
might,
this has that bush that returns. It's on, because all he did was replace the old one, so this.
correct.
on Google Street View, you can see that's clearly significantly more than 5 feet based off of what the,
It's definitely more than 5 feet from the hedge, where the hedge is actually,
It's not that I don't believe you. I just,
Yeah, yeah.
I want it documented. I just had,
sure.
I need a dimension saying this is 5+ feet back from the property line.
Okay.
I mean, even if you wanted to testify to that or something,
if you can go and take a, like, you could just get a tape.
do you have an idea?
of
where
the
your
length
pro-
of the bush and then take a picture of it.
Sure.
and Come back, then we could say.
Or do you know where your property line is at? Do you have a rough idea? Where
The
usually if you
property,
Look at the telephone poles, it usually,
yeah, the property line is right where the hedge, I guess where they actually put the actual hedges in.
Sure.
That's where,
so if
I
you
believe it is.
go and measure from that point back to where the fence is at.
Yep.
And tell us that dimension, we would be able to, if it's more than 5 feet, then we would probably like vote on it. and
Okay.
Approve it.
I think we can
You
we can
know,
do that.
Run home real quick and
Sure.
help us out. We
right.
can move you forward.
Absolutely.
Okay. Go ahead and just
All right.
hold on that. We'll come back when they,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
all right, we'll come back to that. All right, next will be new business 6B, 805 Northeast 115th Street. By the way, I just want to add something to the agenda. Under 7D, the same resident, 805 Northeast 115th Street, has a question for us, so we'll take that after we take 6B.
Okay.
So, so this is 805 Northeast 115th Street, fence repair, Lopez. Good evening, ma'am. Is this a replacement or a repair?
No, it's a replacement.
Okay.
So it's just remove and replace.
Okay, so it's not a repair. Okay. And it's a wood fence, horizontal?
It's wood on the front facade and chain link along the back.
So we got, and the first issue is on the 8th Avenue side,
Okay,
you're not allowed to go in front of the house. So for, the part that's from the corner of the garage or driveway, whatever that
Yeah.
is, forward to the property line, closest to 9th Avenue or 8th Avenue. That part is not allowed under the code.
no, I'm replacing what's on the corner of the garage to the neighbor side.
Okay, but there's, if you look at the survey that was submitted, there's a red, it's red, what's,
Let's see here what he's referring to. So this is the drawing that we're reviewing that's basically indicating where you plan on doing a fence. And so it's this portion here that's not permitted. From here you can go, from here you can go.
then, so we would just need something resubmitted, not showing that, because we, that can't be, not allowed.
Okay,
Second thing is the part that's wood, is that from where the gates are at? The part that face the street?
yes,
Okay, and so the part that's along the back and along the one side is gonna be chain link.
So basically he wants to confirm that all of this is wood. All of this is wood and this is.
Okay. Okay,
I have, oh,
how
sorry.
high is that? 5 foot? 6? Yeah, 6, all right. And it's a horizontal slats, there's no pool, there?
No,
Doesn't
no,
look like it.
no,
You also, it has to be no more than a 1/2 inch between the wood
yeah,
slats, so you can't climb over it.
okay,
So you're allowed to have the wood slats, you're allowed to go up to 6 feet. You're allowed to have the gates, all that, but, it just can't be climbable.
okay,
So, based on that, you just have to submit a new drawing, with that section removed, because I would be wary of
just that red line.
that red
Okay.
line that's taken out,
And for your sake too, I would also
to note it.
fix this because whoever submitted this, you or your contractor, the fence length you're saying is 247 feet, which is probably the whole perimeter, but this is just the wood part. So I don't want an inspector to go out and you put in chain link in the back and they say, oh, your permit's for wood everywhere. Yeah, what I would do on this page is probably just make these two lines a different color, right? Make that. blue. You can edit it. And then here a little next, little
Somebody came in.
chain, red line. I don't want you to get approved for all wood and then they give you a hard time. when you
7B.
edit it.
Look at all this stuff now.
Okay, that's easy.
Yep.
So the other are we done with the
Let's-
fence?
Do I get a motion on this?
Oh, sorry.
We're just gonna have a contingent that she will pre-submit separately.
Yeah, I mean, we can just make a motion that this is approved, but she has to submit the drawings.
Motion to approve pending upload of a corrected fence drawing that also delineates the two types of fences.
David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Oh, I don't know if I announced, but Scarlett is here. Scarlett. Yes, Scarlett. All right, so we also, for the same property, 7B, 805 Northeast 115th Street, she has some questions for us.
So I have several other permits that are open, but there seemed to be confusion back and forth. So one is the driveway. The inspector was there last week and he approved the driveway on the front facade. The one on the garage side, there seems to be a discrepancy between the measurements on the survey and what's actually there. So he said he was going to talk to Leo.
We plans of what's the permit that's, she said she has a driveway permit? Okay, but I'm just want to make sure, you said that somebody came out and approved the drawing for the driveway? So does that mean that there's actually a permit for the
I have,
driveway?
yeah, the-
Existing?
Yeah, it sounds like she has a permit and during inspection, they flagged a discrepancy between the dimension on the drawing that was permitted and approved and what's actually been built. Is that
Is
accurate?
that correct?
or a discrepancy between the survey and what's actually there, not built, but I can show you. The problem is that the inspector didn't know how to proceed, so he said he was going to talk to Leo.
Gil is third party.
So how would I get clarification on the driveway?
This is what. You're removing this roundabout.
Yeah,
But this drawing is what got previously approved by this board.
yes, you guys have a permit.
So, but from the inspection, he's fine with what happened here, but here he's noting an issue about something.
Yeah, these measurements are from the survey, because these don't match up with what's actually there. So he didn't know how to proceed with that, he was gonna talk to us.
I'm curious as to how he would extrapolate that, because that 29.4 foot is taken from your house to a property line that, unless it's marked in, like nobody, your property line surveyor is gonna find for your house. Right, so I don't know how he would determine the dimension from the house to the property line, which is like a imaginary line, right?
Yeah,
Is not 29.4. How we even know.
well, then this measurement from the middle of the median to here.
I guess he could measure from the middle of the median.
But our concern is that the driveway goes and touches the the road.
Yeah, it's
It
kind
has
of,
nothing to do with the median, middle of the street. It's mainly,
yeah, like,
it's gotta come out and touch the
yeah, the
street.
point being, I don't know why he cares, right? Your drawing clearly shows it from the house
Yeah.
to the street. That's all it should matter. And the width is the width of the house.
The same.
That's all that should matter. So I don't know why your inspector is even making an issue.
It was like a 3 factor intent.
Is it closer, is it closer to the property line? It's built exactly the way it is there?
Exactly the way it is here.
Because we'd have concerns if somehow it got wider or it
He
got
was worried
moved
about-
and located, but
No, he was worried about the approach, but everything else is exactly the same. And
Yeah, so as far, I mean, we've done what we're supposed to. And, you know, we've made sure that it all is within our code. So I'm not sure, we don't know, we're not really in charge of the building inspectors and stuff, so we're not sure why he would have flagged it, so.
And
Unless
he's-
there's a note on the.
preventing him from pouring the concrete right now because he can't go inspect like the rebar or something or the.
Yeah,
part
no,
for
it's
it.
not even concrete, it's just, rock. But he didn't approve this.
So it's gone. You're just waiting for him to give you.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It seems odd.
You have to
Go to the building department,
or email, or
Pedro, or email Pedro.
go through the portal and email them, why was this? Can you give me an explanation of why it was denied? Yeah. Okay.
The windows. Originally, you guys approved the whole backside to be sliding doors, which took a long time, but you got it approved. We don't want to do that anymore. We just want to keep it as is and just remove and replace the existing windows. So they uploaded the changes, the window company. And I just wanted to know what do I need to do
So
or,
they just have to submit a revision of the permit.
we did that.
So then that, if that's the case, it would come to us, it would be put on our agenda, so it hasn't been put on our agenda yet, so did that just happen
That
within
happened.
the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, he uploaded on Friday.
Okay, so it's not, it hasn't, it would be on our next meeting, because our agenda closes at the beginning of last week.
Okay,
So if it just came in on Friday, then it would be on our next agenda, so we would review it, any revisions to existing permits at our next meeting.
okay, so you guys are going to review
Yes,
it.
we would look-
Okay, so I just want to explain it to you because when I've emailed, everyone's very confused about it, but it's easy. It's like,
Yeah, you don't want
Remove-
sliders anymore, you're just gonna.
yeah, remove and
It'll come back
replace.
before us just because the revision to an approved permit,
Yeah,
it's only in the back of the house.
yeah,
Means there's very little likelihood that we won't approve that. It'll go
Okay.
Back to the building department after us, just because it will, but it shouldn't be a big deal.
okay. Last one is a structural change that I submitted. Do you guys see that? That's over 2 weeks now.
Is it is it a structural, like, as you're building something new onto the house, like that's changing?
No, I'm reinforcing a wall that we removed.
So that would be, that's actually not us. It's actually would be a building official of permit that the structural engineer would be looking at that. So we would be more concerned about, hey, I'm changing the outside wall and the setback limit, things like that. But if it's just a structural building thing, the building official would be looking at that. So
Okay.
You should be able to see in your CAP portal, like, what's going on with it, that it's in review.
Yeah, it's in review. It's just another confusing.
Then it's just taking.
Point.
time. It's in review, then you're good, you're in the right place. You still need them to review it, but. it's not like
Okay.
it was,
Okay,
look at that.
all right. Let me see. if I
but
can-
yeah, that's a building official.
Okay.
And I think he's in on Wednesdays, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Who's he? What's his
The
name?
building official, Pedro Martinez.
Okay, I have Pedro's information.
Yeah, he might be
Okay.
able to.
They have like 30 days to review it, so. As long as it's been submitted, but less than 30 days, they can tell you, hey,
Yeah, it's been about that. I just think it's,
if it's at 30 days, then start pestering them and complaining.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
You too.
Kim in? Huh? Oh, they're 5A. Okay, they're back. Oh, hi. All right. We're gonna go back to 5A, 890 North 617th Street. If you'd like to come back up to the microphone, sir. All right, so what'd you find out?
So, looks like the property line is 30, well, from the house to the property line. We measured 12 feet from the end of the fence to the property line.
Motion.
Okay, David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. You're good. Thank you.
Good.
Needed.
So the next step or?
No, I mean,
We'll have
I mean, if it would be great if you actually put those dimensions on the plan and re-uploaded it. Like, I don't know if you could print it and just hand write on there, the 12 feet. It just would make
Okay.
it would just make the inspection process easier.
Okay, I will
And the
do that.
inspector won't give you a hard time.
Okay, thank you.
So next steps, it'll still go to the building department after, right? So they'll still process the review and approval before it's officially issued.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for doing that. All right, 6E, I believe, is the next one. 10831 Northeast 10th Avenue, driveway replacement. Hello. Just a second. You're at 23 and 18 for your lot coverage. Are you next to that little park? There's like a little park that goes up to like, that's like at the bend of 10th Avenue? Is that where-
Yes.
Am I at the right one here? And what's the material? Ma'am?
Concrete.
Concrete. It's a
Yes.
concrete driveway. It looks like it's 20 feet wide. 190 square feet.
Yes.
Goes out, there's a little apron. I don't see any issue.
Motion to approve?
Why is the approach
The approach
15
is,
feet and the driveway's 20?
maybe there's a little walkway on the side there.
Yes.
Is the driveway, it's wider than the approach that drives
Yes.
up to it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it because there's a walkway or something?
Yes.
I mean, David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay,
Thank
Good.
you.
thank you, ma'am. Anybody else come in? Six what? We have 6D here? Oh, okay. Oh, got it. Okay, okay. All right, next will be 6G, 11929 Northeast Sixth Avenue, metal fence. Metal fence, yes. Closer.
Hey, how are you?
Just a second, it's taking a second for it to load.
Is just on the sides of the house? Corner?
Sides and the back. Pretty much entire backyard.
6'9" and 7'3" on the east side. Actually, listed as 9'8" and 10'2".
Are you talking about the setbacks or the height? Or which drawing are you on?
Down this one that has the highlighted numbers has distances, but then it also has a ton of this. Has chain link.
Wait, you're looking at
The
this, you're looking at the
fences-
survey.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but I think that's just existing conditions. I think
Yeah.
it's replacing, I think it has a design drawing at the bottom, but it only shows it only clearly shows the gates on the side. Doesn't really show.
Yeah, is this just for the gates at the front or is this all, is there more fence? too?
No, actually all the way around the backyard.
So
Detail
I mean,
01,
it
this
says
sheet.
provide slit fence and perimeter of property.
Yeah, but I think that's like a construction comment.
Detail 01, this sheet. Detail 01.
Yeah, that's like a sediment control, erosion control, construction
Yeah.
detail.
So we're not really seeing on the drawing where exactly this fence is going.
There should be a file called like a fence outline. You don't.
This
you
is
don't
all
have-
we have, just so you see. But we have whatever the application information, so forth. The survey. The fence details, right? Eastern. And then this, which is existing site plan proposed, but this doesn't talk about. This one just says like provide slit fence at perimeter, but I think, yeah, we don't have that. So he's basically got a survey, it looks like that's just highlighted. You can show it to the chairman. I mean, it's kind of standard issue, sides and back.
Oh, yeah, we don't have that.
So it,
I would say motion approved pending
Yeah, see it
upload
there.
of the right.
I see it, sir.
Doesn't trust us. Only been for you.
Okay. No, it's just, it's different than what's on the survey. The survey is showing something else. Well, not survey, the, whatever this ID drawing, SP-01.
Because I think that's like a construction fence, I mean, detail in that AP01, but.
It's a metal fence. What color is it?
Should be dark brown.
Dark brown. Okay. So we're just gonna ask that you submit that drawing, please. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Did I get a motion already or?
Motion to approve pending upload of.
Okay, David Scarlett, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Um,
So it's approved. It's just you now have to submit that.
That form, okay.
It's-
And also, I wanted to clarify, later on, I was thinking this.
You-
Like
for
just
the
on
front?
on the ground?
What, where, what?
Well, a concrete fence.
What, or do you want it to be like half height with the materiality or go all the way up? So the one thing is then in the doors the door would stay the same metal door as what you're putting in. So the one thing that kind of what the code says is what you do on the left side facing the street, then you should also be doing on the right side so that the two have the same stylistic approaches.
Can I see? Can I see what?
Masonry wall is acceptable fence material per the code.
But it's no further than the front of the house.
Yeah, he's showing on the sides.
Same location.
Okay.
But if you were gonna do it on the left side, then you would need to do it on the right side. Yeah. Yeah, but if you, let's say we're keeping the metal door and just getting rid of the little fence part, that part you could make the masonry. You do that on the right side and keep the doors the same, or however you wanna do it, just has to be this.
And
Ju-
nothing,
Just to clarify, if you have a door on one side, you're not obligated to have a door on the other. It's just that the idea is that the materiality of the fence is consistent on both sides. So if you had a concrete wall with a wrought iron metal gate on one side and then just a concrete wall on the other side, that.
none of it can be above 6 feet tall. Okay, all right. All right. Okay, 7A, discussion items, 724 Northeast 119th Street, new construction, second preliminary review. 724. So do we have some plans? This is second review. Guess we'll go up here.
This is.
The changes? No, you
To make it shorter, look at that.
don't. Good to see you guys.
All right, so I remember this.
Yeah.
And the other was the access
The
to
little
the
walk-
front entrance. We put the walkway from the,
Okay, do you have your,
reducing the
it was
space
because
on
you
the
were
back.
actually, it was because it was a lot cover issue, right?
Oh, exactly. And so we reduce the back.
Wow. Don't put a paver out there anywhere. You're gonna go over your lot coverage. Yeah,
Umbrellas.
okay, so we're lot setbacks. Setbacks, okay, it was, and then there was, we were confirming the 15, 10, 10, okay.
The comment we had was the roof was only one plane.
Yeah, so they,
The front, let's see, and also the elevations. The elevation, las elevaciones están en la segunda.
you can see it there,
Yeah.
Here, you
Yeah.
you can see it there.
came down.
And then, and
The
then,
same
and in the
in the
rear, there's
back.
the same detail in the back.
But just an FYI, I'm not sure if you did this because of us, but correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but because this is on the front of the house, you don't have to have a privacy screen that goes all the way up the same way that you would on the back, because
Uh,
the front third is
it has-
treated differently than
But
what the
it's-
back 2/3 are.
But it's nice,
so-
and it's nice that they did that.
Yeah, it might be nice for the future buyer or homeowner, right?
Yeah.
They might want privacy.
And
It's
also
just not a
make it
requirement.
kind of
Yeah.
goes a little bit architecture.
de
Better.
movement. You know, esto vos lo hiciste vos por diseño, pero que no era necesario darle privacidad a los costados.
But it's an architectural detail. There's no requirement that you have it or don't have it, because it's in the front.
No, he designed before.
This one, no?
That's-
Here it's
Yeah.
concrete. Is that what that was showing? there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a wall that goes up to the height.
So this is all second story. This is the window in the back. That's in the, so those are, all-
This is 30
this-
feet to 20.
You have
yeah, and these windows are in the front of the house. There's no window there. So privacy issues, they took care of the sight lines. Okay. Any other notes?
Did they, for the third one? and
Oh, the
finishing
height.
it, Did they do we have the, landscaping?
Yeah, the tree disposition plan. You guys have that?
Tenemos el survey de los, sí, ¿no? El tree survey.
Sí.
Sí. No, we didn't bring it here,
Oh,
but
yeah.
we have it.
The next one is the voting one, so we just need to make sure that it's part of the package for when we
Ah,
take it from discussion to the vote. So
Is that
that
the
Ah.
correct
okay.
27 from?
I don't know, that's just like the tick is missing, but in any case, it would be for here.
Oh, third one, then, yeah, we can move it, but it's, you're gonna need it. to get
27,
through the permitting.
From the
process.
crown of.
Oh, yeah, the,
Oh.
are you talking about
Base
the
flood is what?
landscaping plan?
Yes.
Here, but typically it's at most in the village plus seven,
Normally, we.
plus
like
seven
to
or plus
see it
eight, but I think plus
before
seven
we vote
mostly.
on it and know that it's done.
Okay.
which, you know, is basically
These are for
a little bit lower than that,
Project.
but still, they've got another foot and change.
Yeah, you have up till 28 feet.
Because we measure the height from base flood elevation, not crown of road, we don't. In terms of the maximum height of the building, it's not.
It's from the base front elevation. No, we're
So I'm
okay.
assuming here is plus seven for this property, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah,
A hair more than-
okay, but they're underneath their 20. Okay,
And plus actually, it'd be that plus one. But, so.
okay, so normally we have 3 reviews. This is your second
No,
review?
this is the third one.
Oh, this is the actual third?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said second.
Yeah, he said second, but it's the third.
Okay, so then we're gonna move this to being voted on at the next meeting? Think, unless,
If it's the third one.
Yeah.
We don't have issues.
We don't have the.
we don't have the tree survey.
Tree survey is missing.
The existing tree survey, I'm sorry?
Yes,
Or the landscaping plans? within the yard?
it's,
The tree
it's
survey,
kind of
we
both,
have
it's
it.
both.
Yeah,
Ah.
but mainly it's that you need to know if you're taking down any specimen trees to build this, right? And if you did, then that needs to be mitigated properly, so
Okay,
we just need a
But do
tree,
we
an
need that
existing
in
tree
the-
survey.
do we need that in order to get approved?
It's,
We
it's,
didn't- we
It's
it's,
usually part of our.
it's
approval.
part of our approval, yes, to have the tree
It
survey.
it wasn't a requirement last year, right?
Typically, well, with all new builds, we ask for it,
Really?
right?
For many years, yeah.
We had a tree survey, but we don't, but we didn't print it.
Okay. Anything else? that we need?
He requires that in order to start designing, do you remember?
Oh,
Every
no, no,
project,
I actually have it in my email. I mean, I can show it to you right now,
Okay.
if you like.
yeah.
I mean, do we want to move it to approval? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I mean, if they're not taking down any trees and it's clear from the tree survey, then.
Yeah, there's no.
Why is that second here?
there's no-
Huh?
Do we know why it says?
I don't know
second?
why it says say a second on there.
Oh, my notes from the last time say first,
Yeah.
which was from January twenty.
It was
Mhm.
Sebastian,
the second.
this is the second, not the third.
This is the second, because your first was on January twenty-second.
So,
This is the second one.
Okay, so
So-
I would say make it easy and if you could upload the tree survey into the packet and just have a copy of it printed for the next one, then we can, on the next one, we can. It'll come
Here it
up as
is.
discussion,
The tree
right,
survey.
but then we can vote on it.
Here it is.
okay, well, hard to see it. Okay. So since this is only second, let's move it to the vote for the next meeting
No,
and include the tree survey.
here, yeah, they have it on record. That is the second, right?
Yeah,
This is
January
the sec-
22nd was your first.
And we typically have three, so in the next one, we're not gonna do third, we're actually gonna move it to the agenda for voting in 2 weeks.
What else do we need to upload other than
I think the house looks good, just the
because
tree
last
survey.
time we didn't talk about the tree survey. Last time we said that the only thing needed was this and the sidewalk and that's it. So we need to know.
But that's why we have 3 reviews, because we don't catch everything the first time. So now, second review, we're asking for the tree disposition plan, bring that next time.
But was that
Yeah.
not on your notes for trees, right?
No, we didn't.
From
even
my
talk
written
about
notes.
that. I thought this was gonna be the last one and I was gonna walk house with the plan,
But you
with the
should
project
know,
approved.
we always have 3 reviews for new construction, right? Sometimes that gets advanced if you come in the first time and it's
Perfect.
perfect. Then we give, we limit it to 2, but we typically always
I
have
was
3.
the impression that this was the third one, that's why.
Yeah, but it's
So-
not. So, and again, that's why we do 3, because.
Sometimes we
forget
miss
to
it,
mention
so-
something in the first one, right? So,
It's a way of catching everything, try to catch everything.
but I think what we're telling you is, we're gonna move to the voting agenda for next time. We're not really gonna dive into details again, right? It's gonna get approved.
Mhm.
Unless, suddenly everyone changes their mind.
So
So
the,
submit the tree disposition so we can check that off the box, right?
Okay.
And then next time it'll get, in the meantime, you can release your EPs now.
Yeah.
The design is set.
excellent,
Looks good.
okay, excellent.
Alright. Cool.
But that's it, right? The only thing that we're missing is the tree survey.
Tree, and I'll make sure, and then you have another one, right?
No, for today.
Oh.
Not today.
I think it's these.
Oh, sorry, it's the other one.
All right, so we're moving to agenda for the next meeting. All right, the next one is 7B. I might as well just stay up here. 729 Northeast 117th Street, new construction, second review.
From.
No.
Next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How you guys doing?
Hi, good. Thanks. How are you?
Okay, that's the old one, just in case
Okay.
we need to revert back to it.
Okay.
Here's the new one. I do notice some items that we need to address, some design change and ordinances. So again.
When did we see this the first time?
you s-
Last time when I was there?
February
Okay,
5th, yes.
okay. All right.
So,
That was good list of-
yes, there was a good list of comments I didn't.
So this is that garage that's way in the back of this property that's been around forever. Okay,
We can go over the list of comments if you just want to go over real quick.
okay.
Okay, so the first one, the other was a total lot coverage, even though I put it here, but let's go over the lot coverage sheet. Yes, this is being
Oh,
demolished.
so it's a new construction.
Correct, this is demolished.
Oh, it's a
Here's
shame.
my, I know, trust me, we looked up, we actually went to the trouble of designing different alternative ways to maintain it. But first of all, it was a non-conforming structure, because it was it was a duplex. So let's say we were gonna turn it into one, so we said, let's try to turn it into one structure. Either guest house and everything, but we had to connect it, so when we started to connect into it, we couldn't bring. He wanted modern architecture, so it just clashed, and we literally fought for a while, and it didn't work, so he was like, got to a point where he was so frustrated, he's like, just demo it.
Okay,
So here's the lot coverage. I picked up every impervious area that we were gonna have.
Yeah, this is a huge,
discussed.
this is a huge lot, isn't it?
Yeah,
Not as- I thought- oh, it's a
Huge,
typical
not
one?
huge, yeah,
Okay.
it's not that
It
big.
just deceptive because it's so far back.
Yeah, you and I, huge, will probably say we're on the 12 to 14, 15,
Okay,
and then go to Acre and Griffin, but this one is, so we're up right under the lot coverage. So my lot coverage calculations right here. We're at the requirements, the maximum is 5,400. I calculated the space and we're just under. And the red is the post shade area that you see the hatch, which I even picked up the steps. I picked up the slab for the generator, the driveway, so it's hatched accordingly, so it works. So right now, based on this illustration, we're in compliance with the lot coverage. Okay, setback requirements, AS1, same, AS1, same thing. So again, 30-foot front setback. The rear, we have, we're actually allowed 10, but we're exceeding it at 28. And then this side we're actually 10 is the required setback, which I should have put it in red, which I started doing.
you have 30 over here. Okay,
Yeah, so I usually put it in red here.
30-foot second floor you had to work out.
okay.
Yes, okay, so in my narrative, septic tank location was one of the items. I put it over here. Again, we added more drain field, but that's gonna be regulated by
I got it.
HRS. Yes, exactly. And I did speak with them about you guys telling me that they started putting it in front, and I mentioned to them as like, you know.
It's not a requirement.
We're changing, no, so we're changing the ordinances because I'm very active in Miami Shores, and we have the same problem. So.
Oh, they
Yeah,
are?
yeah, so no, in the Shores, we're actually gonna change the ordinance so we can put it in the side and the back, because now we're changing the parking situation. Because, you know, it's two parking spaces per home, we're changing it now. Now, if you convert your garage, like City of Miami, if you convert your garage, they want you to add another parking space. So that's what we're trying to do with Miami Shores, because we're gonna try to get like 3 or 4 parking spaces based on the square footage of the house, because if not, you're gonna have cars on the swales and.
So we do it by bedroom.
I know, by bedroom, so that's what we're changing now, but you guys are not there yet. I don't want to change your ordinance.
Okay.
It's gonna happen. So again, they may could put us in the front, we'll redesign it, but I already spoke with them. I know I put it in the back. It's just like my 5th project, always putting it in the back, because that's my
Okay.
request. But that's always them. The second story height requirements.
Okay. Height or setbacks?
I had height because I took it from your list.
Okay.
You had a height issue.
Yes.
And then you also had the second floor setbacks you had to figure out.
Yes.
Well, let's look at the setbacks, because that's on the
Okay,
next,
so-
the next drawing,
The
right?
next drawing, so I did an error. So yeah, so 30 foot is the maximum, and then I just read the ordinance again, because it's 30 foot max, and then it has to be 5 feet max.
Anything above 30.
Yeah,
has to
so
be
this
5.
one I have to move to 5, and this one I have to move to 5.
Apply to this as well.
Correct. So here's the question I have for you. This is this screen wall. So I would have, even if it's screen, we'll move it to 5 feet. Because we were talking about, I mean, I don't know the answer. I'm asking now. It is a wall, even, what if I do it as a fence or a screened?
How high is it? Is it the size of a handrail, or is it up,
No,
or is it high?
It's tall because we have the
Then
diminishing
it's,
views.
it should be 5 feet. It
So it
needs
should
to
be 5 feet, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
'Cause
I didn't know.
It acts as a wall.
It does act as a wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so that was our 30 foot max here and 30 foot max here, but I gotta push this over. Now I gotta redesign the space to accommodate 5 feet. But I mean, I gotta redesign that whole thing. But it's
Okay.
just gonna move that way for compliance.
Okay.
We took out the rooftop terrace. So I started showing, I liked it. Yes. Correct. So,
But the terrace on the top had a,
The problem is that he was saying, yeah, so then it needs to screen it from the view, then he was exceeding the overall height, so.
Got it.
so what I started showing in the drawings, I give you my 1/3 and my 2/3.
Okay.
Everything past to this line in the rear has to be, obstructing, yes.
Diminished.
Just diminished. This is the
Diminished.
diminishing view.
but you have
face.
transom,
Well, this is obscure.
obscure, okay.
Does that complies with obscure?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a transit. We'll get to the elevations when you'll see that. Okay, so architectural, septic tank, number 2 was the side walls cannot exceed 30 in length. I usually like to provide a narrative. Diminishing views, again, I show it on the elevations. You see on this side, transom, master terrace needs a screen. So we'll move that to 5 feet.
But it's still some kind of, it's a screen. What does that look like? I mean, is it a,
We'll get to
like,
it.
okay,
Oh,
we'll
let's
we'll see elevations. Okay.
Since you're asking, let's go
Okay.
to it. We got renderings too. Let's go to the renderings, guys. I see these guys are, it's a little more easy to see. So here's the front.
Okay.
One of the items was discussion was the elevation of the hierarchy of the structures.
Yeah, he didn't have he said a flat.
Correct, they had a flat roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have.
So
one-
I did 3.
There's one there. Okay. So, okay, I see.
So we have 1,
2.
2, 3.
Okay,
correct. So we
love it.
broke that
Great.
volume up.
Great, nice.
We've cladded it with stone. I like the materials was the selection of the owner. He liked it a lot. I'm missing some more illustration. I want to put downlights in here,
What kind of
stuff like
stuff
that. There's gonna be some coral. Yeah,
Okay.
or maybe a limestone, but it would be a natural stone. He likes the black frame. He's an artist. Nice guy. Let me go to this side.
You could not have done something with that existing structure in the back.
I tried. Okay, so here's more eye
It's like a
candy.
turf block kind of thing?
Yeah, that was the screen that we're trying to
The breeze
propose.
block.
Yeah,
Okay.
the breeze block, and then we're trying to maybe do green wool.
Breeze block. Sorry, it's a turf block.
What was your question before about or elevations of the side? Just to see the height.
So I'm sorry, upper terrace.
Yes, we omitted that. That's the front elevation. I know. Again, so this is the transom, this is the double height space. So I wrote it here, double height space. Again, I show my diminishing views. Where is my 2/3, 1/3? So this back is the view, but there's a double height space, so they're not gonna see anything. So I'm assuming it complies.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
To maximize the light.
Okay. It's diminished, I mean, yeah. We could stand here, but I know yeah, this,
I mean, yeah.
it's fine, it's fine, it's
Okay,
diminished.
okay. Okay,
Yeah.
it is true, that's diminished.
I mean, you might be actually, I mean, just to,
Yeah, bring it up.
when you put these two bathrooms back an additional 2 feet. Sorry. You might be able to get some front facing windows in these showers. Or that's
Yeah, it's a sharp.
because you're gonna have 5 feet here. So
Yes.
you might have to be able to get another light and that will, you won't have to be obscured because it's facing the front,
Sliver window.
or
That'd be nice.
something to
Yeah.
to throw some light in there and actually be able to see out and not be standing in a bathroom with a obscured window,
Okay,
or even just take that window and move it up as a transom, and then that way you don't have to have it obscured. You can actually look out and see birds and blue sky and,
very nice.
it doesn't require, if it's up high enough, your line of sight is diminished. So that would
Okay.
be just
I like
something,
that.
just
I
not
like that.
big fan of like
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of.
obscured
obscure,
windows.
Especially a big one like that.
You have no view of anything, so,
So
okay.
we got rid of the widow's walk. You like that? The front facade required 2 heights. We did the front facade and then,
Total height now?
the total height is 26. Well, actually, less than 26. 26 is my max.
I'd be curious to know is what flood zone are you in? Because if you're at 14-foot NGVD,
Mhm.
that.
14, yeah.
Because I think most homes in the village are 7-foot base flood elevation, so you'd be at 8 by minimum.
Okay,
You could be.
Let me
9,
verify.
10,
I'm
but
gonna get the-
14 seems like a.
let me get the elevation certificate. Yeah.
Because
elevation.
that would
you'd
be,
be,
that would,
like,
you would add,
mounding up
you
7 feet
you would,
every year.
that thing would be, very high house.
Because the height is measured from that, right?
Got it.
We would need to know what your base flood elevation is, and then you can be 28.
26, I think. is my
But I'm
max.
saying
But your max
Oh,
is 28
Or 28 max. But I'm
from
s-
base flood
But right
plus
now,
1.
if your base flood's down here at 7, then you're
Got it.
7 feet too tall, right?
I'm still pending the tree disposition, which we got confirmation is gonna be done, so I'll have that, but there are no protected trees that we're taking down. I'll get you the new elevation, the new datums, and some spot elevations for contouring, it's just confirmation on the survey. I think that's it, that's all of my notes, and this is the second round.
But I think you told us last time there's a wall for that generator location.
Oh, yes, yes. So here's this parapet wall, screening equipment, and then I put a fence on the side. You don't see it here. I just put like a little gate. Um, I'm looking for like a little screen gate.
So the generator's underneath this roof of the house?
Yes.
It's kind of tucked underneath there like that?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting.
I think like the low wall, which I have to illustrate with a low partition, and this is supposed to have a fence. Or it's just a gate that you just open and close. And I had a condensing unit on the roof. Since we took out the rooftop terrace and everything, I just put it on the ground floor. So they both condensers are here.
Yeah, that's good that you.
I
mean,
might,
you- I
I
mean,
might have to
you're
go higher on that wall.
I mean, you're gonna have a fence across here on each side or somewhere for the pool
Yeah.
protection. So why do you need to have a fence in front of the generator on the side of the
I
house?
think
if
he
you-
was trying to
you're
appease
going-
like a screening,
Correct.
but for us, the screening's important to the street. I mean, on the side, you
But
you
also
can put
it
one if
helps
you
with-
want, but.
It helps with noise for the neighbors,
I just want to screen it basically.
I
what
think
it
it's
is.
a good idea.
Screen,
Okay.
I may have to go higher on that. I gotta figure out what condensing units were, so I'm probably gonna ask for like 56 inches for the wall for now. I gotta play with the elevation. Because those units nowadays are getting taller and taller and taller. I think that's about it for now. Right?
Okay,
Any,
So, random question.
Yes.
Does that street have a natural gas main line, or where are you putting the tank for a generator?
Well, this would be the tank. I don't know whether if it has natural gas. I gotta find out. I gotta find out. I don't know.
So
If he
this
does
is
have,
it. So where is the box that is the generator then?
this is the
Oh,
generator. This is
yeah.
the actual
Yes.
generator, but you're talking about the gas?
I think you're gonna end up having an underground fuel tank somewhere
Correct,
here.
with
so
propane.
that's what he was
So
asking.
you're talking about the propane tank. So the
Yes.
propane tank, if we do like a 400 gallon or whatever, 200, we'll bury it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that, you're gonna put that.
I would probably be somewhere around here, yeah, 100%. I always bury those tanks. I can't stand them.
Okay.
No, it's,
Yeah.
like, for instance, Griffin, you could hook up to a main line for
Mhm.
some stuff, but I don't know.
It might be there. There might be a gas line.
It's in the
They're,
old
they're
garage.
kind of randomly throughout the village.
Yeah. I'll verify that, but that's a good question though.
Oh, really? So it comes from the bridge, it goes that way, or?
I don't know.
But it goes
On
down-
our side, I'm the last house on Griffin, we're coming from the north that has gas. South of me, no, don't have it.
I have gas.
You do, so at some point it comes from the south, but it doesn't go.
All the way.
Sorry, not to,
Get a high five?
not to detract from the.
But like
Matter
go
of
down
gas.
10th Avenue and it stops at, I think, 113th or something like that.
So your owner can check if they've got natural gas on it.
Okay.
Ten from the, coming this way or coming that way?
Coming from the north. There's a
Oh,
gas, there's a
thank you.
gas line in there. So,
Oh, so
This
you
is
have
where
the second floor,
This
that's
is
30 foot
operating
setback, you gotta kind of play with that
That's
a little
costing
more.
$5,000.
Tree disposition plan you said you're working on.
Yes.
And just confirming base flood and making sure that your height is, 28 feet max from base flood plus one.
no.
Imagine that.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
we'll move it to the third reading at the next meeting? Review?
Well, let me finish the drawings and then I'll.
Okay,
apply
but you'll
it.
submit it,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I'll submit it.
But just saying,
Yeah.
we have one more review.
I really appreciate it.
Which,
Okay.
yeah, so even if because your drawing, it seems like it would get fixed pretty quickly, but, we will need to wait for the
Yeah, I heard.
pre-commission piece to come, so you may
Well, he's-
finish quickly, but that one may.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna
he's-
try to, we already authorized it. It was supposed to be due today, but we didn't have it complete.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, next would be discussion 7C, 826 Northeast 121st Street, exterior model.
Yep.
Thank you. So, first of all, it's a little bit more than exterior remodel. It's a complete remodel, correct? Yeah.
So this
Yes, sir, how are you?
this isn't about the fence?
So we approved the fence at the last meeting, I believe, right? It's already been installed? It's up? So this is about the remodeling of the structure.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I remember there was the gate side access that was coming in through a neighbor's yard or something like that on the
Yeah,
other.
that was inspection. I got approved last week. I don't think
Oh,
they, I
okay.
think that's not.
Oh,
All right, so this is the, so we have a discussion, what we do is when we have major renovations or new construction, like you just saw, we have a plan review discussion. So in which we give the applicant feedback on, the code and so on and so forth, so they can make any revisions to move forward. So, just reviewing it, the first question, and I think maybe you might want to discuss the fact that it's in a single-family zone and you're asking for a duplex. I think there was some questions.
3 units.
There's a triplex.
2 on the second floor, 2 on the first, if I recall.
I believe the plans are for a duplex. The plans are also being modified and will be submitted within the next few weeks.
Or what is that? I'm sorry.
Duplex.
Okay, so again, you're in a one-family zone. So moving forward, that would be the first obstacle is the fact that you have a non-conforming structure that has been discontinued for more than 6 months. So it needs to come into compliance with our current code, which is one family.
It just, sorry, this is just as an aside, starting on page 40 of 80, all of the drawings at that point, then going further south, are all duplex plans where it has bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3 on the first and second floor, and it's like a matching plan. So these look like from those pages down, look like all duplex drawings versus
Yeah, I guess that's what he's confirming, right? They're proposing a duplex. I remember seeing 3 here or there, because 2 or 3 are not permitted.
So that would be issue number 1 is it's a single family zone.
I think it also doesn't have setback.
Property surveys. Well, that's fine that a county says that, but our code says this is no zone B, which is detached one-family residence dwellings. So the county can say that. I mean, but it's our code is more restrictive than the county. And we dictate how our zoning is. So the other thing too is there lot coverage on this? I mean, that was the next question is we have maximum lot coverage, 50%. So is the existing structure, and it looks like the garage is still trying to be maintained? Are those 2 structures above the total lot coverage? Is it above we have a calculation for lot on this? The sheet at the very front of this is not filled out, so we don't have the exact lot coverage.
Area. The site plan is the first sheet, A-0.
All the way back up to the top.
It's on 8.
8 of 80?
Of this PDF that we have from Dropbox, page 8.
Okay.
So it's got like building area, but obviously it's taking into account two levels, all that.
well, here I can do it all.
So you just take living area,
No,
building 1, adjusted building area.
no, I'm adding the terrace.
I mean, no.
32 by 50 and then 14.2 by 510. And on the back, eight.
What is the total lot coverage?
That's what he's trying to figure out.
It's a lot that's 60 by 105.
Lot area is 6,300 square.
Okay.
Feet.
All right. 60 by 105. 3,000 square feet, maximum lot coverage. Or 3,000 feet. I mean, that's not stated on any of the drawings here, sir?
I'm sorry, what is now?
The maximum lot coverage, I mean, that, you know, the documents need to have these dimension or calculations on here for us to review. We shouldn't be actually calculating them up on the dais.
Yeah. So the building is 32 by 50, which is 1,600. Front porch area is 14'2" by 5'10", which is 84.9. and the rear is 15 foot 8 by 6, 94.5, so that totals 1779.4.
And then what about the back building, the garage? It's 18 foot 4 by 36.
18.33 by what?
18 foot 4 by 36 foot 5.
36.5 or 36 and a half? 36.5, so, all right. 0.45.
Okay, so, but again, we have 3,000 total lot coverage. But remember that 3,000 also has to include parking spaces.
Yeah.
So each bedroom, you know, if you have how many bedrooms is this? Even if we were to consider the duplex, that means that we have to have three parking spots per unit, 6 parking spots on the property parked off the street.
And then, but how many fit in the garage? Then you'd still have 4.
Still need 4.
But, so the total combined, the two structures is 2,447.
Okay. So again, we shouldn't be calculating this. The applicant should be calculating this. But we're just stating the fact is that you have a 50% lot coverage, maximum lot coverage, including parking, including any parkways, anything. So that's issue number 2. Issue number 3 is setbacks. This structure's been non-conforming. It's non-conforming. It's been discontinued. So any application must bring it into compliance with our setbacks, which are 30 feet in the front and 10 feet on the sides.
I just hypothesized that for a driveway or for a car parking space could be 8 feet across by 20 feet in.
Okay.
Kind of for standard, that's 640, so that puts it at 3,087. I don't know if 20 feet in is what it has to be, or if it's 16. But if you had 4 parking spaces on the property, you're probably around 3,087.
He only has 15 feet.
Okay, so it's gonna be 32 times 15, that's 480 plus. That's 292. So obviously we would need a sheet from possible, we would obviously need a sheet from the applicant, that is the lot coverage sheet that would kind of confirm that quick napkin math on all of this of what the actual lot coverage is.
But if the,
Doesn't adjust.
my, if, so the current footprint of the buildings, are you saying if it's greater than 50%, what happens to the buildings if it's greater than 50% lot coverage?
So the buildings are non-conforming and they're not, and they have not, you know, they have to, any application has to bring into compliance of our code. Our code says you have a maximum lot coverage of 50%. So the existing structures that are there are non-compliant. Well, I mean, according to the main calculations, the actual structures seem to be within the square footage of that would be applicable. But the thing is you have to provide parking, you have to provide all these other items that have to be on the property. So you have to take into account the parking spaces, not just the actual structures. But then we have setback issues. We have a front setback issue. We have a side setback issue. You know,
And those
we all know
setbacks
the
are what again? What are those numbers? I'm sorry.
You have a 30-foot front setback and a 10-foot in the side and 10-foot rear setback. So since the structures were they're non-compliant and they've been discontinued, anything improvements that we would approve would have to meet those setback issues. So the structures as they are, I don't see how could be approved based on our current code.
For reference, right now, your current side setbacks of that existing structure are 3'6" on one side and 6'6" on the other. So they're substantially less than a 10-foot. Same for the rear, the accessory garage structure is 5 foot from the rear and 2'11" from the side. So,
In the front.
and in the front as well, sorry.
So, I mean, the only way forward using these existing structures would be to have a relief from our code, which would be a variance. So that would be, you'd have to apply for a variance to satisfy the lot coverage, setbacks, the number of dwelling units, if that's what you were wishing to do. I think we all know the history of the house and we know what everything that's been going through. It would actually personally be kind of cool to see it rehabbed and kept, but not to me personally, it's in a single family zone. So it would be a really cool single family house, and you get some variances for you work with us. We want to try, obviously you want to keep it. You wouldn't have gone through all this to not want to keep the structures, but possibly, and again, I'm speaking for myself, not the board. Variance request seems to be the only path forward on this, and you would need a variance for a whole slew of things to make this happen.
Setback. What's the other variance?
Well, we would require a plan that shows the parking spaces that for all the parking, any walkways or anything like that, like we do. Anybody else, a site plan that shows that the guy here just, came under 50%. So we would make sure that whatever improvements to this would meet the 50% rule.
But it's possible, it would be tight, but it's possible that could be done and uploaded from a coverage perspective to be under that.
Yeah, so if you could manage the lot coverage, then the variance would be for the setbacks and for the use.
Yeah.
Right.
Use,
Unless they pursued a single family renovation, that's just setbacks below the bar, ask for variance, setbacks, building.
So procedurally, is that then two independent variances? Or is there the potential that we allow them to keep it based off of the setbacks and preserving the nature of it, but we do not allow it to be zoned as a duplex?
well, they'd have to ask for a variance for each specific item.
Two variances.
Yeah, so it would be one variance,
One
just
variance,
asking for
thing.
the different things.
Okay. I was
You
just
know.
curious.
Now, I'm just, the other, just thought that just crossed my mind is we have to provide a parking spaces that provide parking on the property. Right now, the building is 15 feet back, correct?
Typical spot. Most municipalities that, right, are usually 60. It's got 15 parking spaces up to the building frontage. Swing. Space off street.
Yeah,
Can there be,
it'd have to go from those two little bump outs. It would have
to the
to
side,
go
to the side of the-
all the way out and
But here's the other thing, this is what I just thought, was we have a existing 5'6" setback on one side and a 6'6" setback on another. There's not enough room for the cars to go around the house and park in the rear.
yeah.
And then the village, I believe, is abandoning the alleys. So, conceivably, you could say you could drive your car down the alley, but I think the alleys are not being maintained anymore. So there's conceivably not a way of getting a car back to the garage. correct? I mean, am I wrong on that? I mean, do we know the alleys are being maintained?
I don't,
What's the, if they were open to converting it single family, what's the maximum parking space requirements for a single family?
Well, it depends on the number of bedrooms.
Yeah, so but there's a max.
It's five, I believe.
This is,
On 4 plus a park, I guess. Four more bedrooms, 3 spaces.
so if it was converted to a single bedroom, single family home, regardless of bedroom count, structure, they can fit 3 spaces. in front of that.
Well, how? I mean, with their asses, excuse my language,
Again,
hanging out into the
Oh,
driveway.
yeah, speaking for myself, if 1 foot of.
They park the
buffer-
car touching the house, you know.
Yes, but again, it's not like it's a street that's 15 feet back, it's the property plus the swale, right? So me personally, if it's 1 foot of the bumper into the right of way, to the swale. Again, if they're willing to make all the other concessions and bring this into compliance, get variances for setbacks. Parking. At 1 foot, me, goes to my.
Okay.
Can you get a variance on the number of parking spaces per room? So if we did a duplex, we would need 6 parking spaces. Could you get a variance on that?
You would need, so the duplexes with 1, 2, 3, or 4 need 2 spaces per unit, plus 0.5 spaces per visitor parking. So that's a total of 5 parking spaces that are needed for a duplex.
To answer your question, I think you can get a variance for
Anything.
ask, other than metal roofs.
The only thing in the code that says you cannot get a variance is for a metal roof.
But yes, now, of course, understanding that when you start going to ask for a variance and you want A and B and C and D and E and F. Sure, so favorably. Extremely broad variance request for so many things, right? If you go in a bit more narrow focused on certain things like setbacks, guys, let me get the setbacks. So I can keep the structure, make it a single family home. 3 spaces of parking. Your chances are.
yeah, but what you
Again,
have
it's a
to,
crapshoot with the commissioners, right? It's up to them, but I think you improve your chances by not asking for 20 variances.
Right.
and what you have to understand too is in all of those variant stuff, one of the main conditions that commissioners are keeping in their head is if we grant this for this person, what hole are we opening for every other resident? Like, cause there are a whole lot of duplexes. If they come back and they're like, hey, I only want to have 1 parking spot because you let them adjust their number, it becomes more difficult. So those incrementally, it's of saying, oh, wow, this is a nice old building that happened to have non-conforming setbacks. That's a different conversation than somebody wanting to do new construction and saying, oh, I want to build to 5 feet to the property line type of situation. But the adjustment to number of parking spots is going to be a tougher thing because any resident could ask for that type of variance if you set a precedent.
Right.
Just keep in mind, whether or not we give a variance for 2 parking spaces or whatever, there's still going to be person sleeping in each one of those rooms or visiting. And so we're going to end up with all these cars that, you know, it doesn't make sense to give relief on
So I think
parking
again,
requirements.
Commissioners are more willing to accept setback being.
Don't be greedy. Ask for a number of variances that are reasonable. And, because that's actually one of the things that the variance request is a reasonable request.
It could also be a situation created by, so that when.
Right now, you're dealing with a house that was built in 1920. So that's your hardship, is that the structure was built in a certain way. So whether or not I have enough parking spots or not, like you were just saying, self-created issue, not so much a.
work with them on the 40% max coverage, because 3 spots in that limited front yard, right now you start. Because driveways are not allowed to exceed 40% of your front yard, right? You don't want huge driveways.
That's,
You have a front yard, like you, but the owner has no front yard, go to the setback, so. One part of the code says you need 3 spaces. Usually that works out fine in most conditions, you have a proper setback, this doesn't. 3 spaces in that setback is probably more than 40%.
and actually that is actually another thing that would have to be a variance.
Probably a variance, but a variance again that someone could accept because if they're accepting the setbacks, that just kind of goes hand in hand versus a variance of parking.
But it would have to be something that would be stated in the variance.
Yeah, I'm
is that
bringing
you
it
have,
up so that.
he's gonna actually have to ask for relief from the 40% rule. Because we do, if you, in the front yard, if the parking spaces are in the rear, that the 40% rule doesn't apply. It's maximum lot coverage in that 15 by 60 foot.
And that would be, I mean, in my opinion, not being a commissioner, that would be a more acceptable thing because the old way of doing it would have been to drive through the alley, but we chose as opposed to abandon the alley, which makes it a little bit more difficult. if you build-
And that's, I'm not
That's-
100% not sure on that, but I thought the village,
Yeah.
Where is the, I'm sorry, the alley, where is that?
that's behind, there's a 20-foot alley.
This property has an alley.
There's no way of physically the garage for this through the property. There's a 5-foot and a 6-foot setbacks on each side.
Is there a way to add the alley to the property?
There actually is a, there is a part of the code that says something about, abandonment of right of way.
Alley doesn't look that bad.
You should take the entire length of the alley,
Yeah.
have a giant tree-shaped property that's.
Try to claim the entire alley. Yeah,
That would get you.
I think I would check with
Yeah.
the village hall about the status of that alley, right? Is it abandoned or is it still active?
I,
If it is abandoned, then probably.
Who would know that?
I
Sure.
love.
The manager or the public works manager? Do we have a public works manager currently?
But it feels like a legal issue. I would talk to the village manager. Public works can tell you whether he's maintained it. How wide is it? 20 feet?
It is a 20-foot alley.
And it looks fine.
Potentially.
But it's
take up 10
technically-
feet of it.
It would be 10 foot on one side, 10 foot.
Yeah, I'm saying potentially they would be able, if it is abandoned, to take 10 foot plus the width of their property, by the width of their property.
Is there any right of way on the side of the property or just the back alley?
I think there's an easement on the side.
There is a, it's labeled as an alley on the plan, but it is, I believe it is a right of way. of The village.
But is there another structure next to it?
There's on the other side of that 20-foot alley, there's this, I believe that alley was put in, it's for utilities. Runs all the way down 8th Avenue, I believe. This is 8th, yeah. Goes all the way down from like 121st all the way down to, huh?
There's no,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
For some reason on the south, beyond the alley, that gap disappears, like properties are applied directly, but right?
It's there. It shifts around. It goes, because we've dealt with it on, for houses further south than this, along 8th Avenue. There is an alley to the west. We do have something in our code, 5.3.5 about vacation of right-of-ways. There's a whole 4 points that have to be done in order to do so. But that would be, if if somebody applied for the vacation, it would be if the village commission would have to, we would probably have to review it and then make a recommendation on it.
I mean, maybe that's an answer if that adds enough
Yeah, it'll help. I don't know that,
space.
how wide is that alley on the side?
20 feet.
So you pick up 10, so then you'd be complying on that side.
Frankly, with the 2 structures that are on there, right? If you said, hey, we're gonna single family it, have three spots in the front yard, they're only gonna be 15 foot deep, and so we're gonna need help with the 40% rule. But if you're okay with the side setbacks and you're okay with the 40% rule and us putting 3 parking spots, like, and I can't speak for the commission, I can't speak for the rest of the planning and zoning board, but that's probably close to the smallest ask that you could do. But if you did that off of my back of the napkin math, you don't need to take over the alley or anything like that. You would be under your building envelope size off of just the two structures and 3 spots at 15 feet by about 8 feet across and 24 feet total, call it.
We have 900 square feet in the front yard from the 15 by 60, and then so 40% of that is 540 square feet. You're allowed to cover 540 square feet of that.
Yeah, so if you take 15 times 24, what's that?
360.
So 360, yeah, so you wouldn't even need to ask for the 40% part then. It would just be, hey, are you guys cool with the side set, with us being in the side setbacks and us being too close to the road? And as a single family thing, but if you're then trying to get to 6 spots and all of that type of stuff, the problem is even if you got the 20-foot by 60-foot part on the back added, your problem isn't the total lot coverage at that point. Your problem is how much space you have in the front to be able to park 6 cars, which there's no way physically with a 60-foot wide thing that you'd be able to do with it as shallow as it is.
Is it 6 cars or 5 cars?
And it would be
5,
20.
sorry.
No, that's, you're talking about, he's, I believe you,
Not if they don't find out.
well, no, it's,
Usually when it gets abandoned, you can take the half adjacent to your property. You can't take all of it.
What if
It's
you,
your first pass.
you gotta make a Godfather offer?
Obviously, if you did the 6 on the side, that's gonna alleviate, or the 10 on the side, that would alleviate the setback variance. for
I mean, maybe we do that first, is try to, I don't know.
And you're going in and saying, hey, I only need a variance for side setback on one side and front setback, and that's all I need.
well, the rear too.
All because of that.
Like
Well.
the garage on the rear.
Abandoned alleys, then it would be clear the rear too.
Well,
There's no guarantee. First of all, we're not saying
But-
anything
but-
about that you're allowed to
but-
do.
But
And-
also my argument, if I'm the homeowner, my argument is, hey, my garage is only not cool with where it is because this is no longer a road.
No, it's an alley.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying once you say, oh, yeah, this is no longer an alley, now that garage is a problem. But before it was like, that's why that garage is there.
Well, the interesting thing is if the alley was vacated, and it's 10 feet, so the side,
Yeah.
rear setback would be fine
Satisfied.
on the
Mhm.
garage.
No, because that's not the only, there's a bunch of those garages that are built in the same like distance off of that alley on the back of it.
But is the garage salvageable? Because I understand that the roof is caved in and there's a tree or something inside of it. I mean, because the second you start taking the walls down, then it's got to come up to compliance, so, I just was wondering, is it even like salvageable that, as part of the, renovation of this, is it worth keeping it or not? And that's like the question.
Is it beyond, so far beyond repair that it's not worth adding that to your list of variances? You just take that garage down and renovate the main structure and move it into front and side there.
Mhm.
Anyways, food for thought for the owner, but.
So, we put this as a discussion item because, we give feedback, which we've done on things that we see issues with. And, typically the applicant will go back and correct those things and then come back to us and we review it again. So, if, we're giving you the same courtesy that we do all the applicants. And I guess at the next meeting, if you come back with no changes, and you say, I want to apply for this the way it is applied for, then we would move it to vote at that time. And then, either we would vote it up or down, we've given you the feedback. And then if you want to pursue an application for a variance, then at that point you apply for a variance. So be for relief from the items that we discussed, the parking 40%, the single family versus duplex, the lot coverage, total lot coverage, including all development on the property, setbacks.
And that 40% rule is the parking can't exceed 40% of the,
The front, right, the front setback, basically. So from the property line to the house, property line to property line, parking cannot be more than 40%
I see.
of the front.
Got it. Got it.
Applies to the swale as well. So it's 40% of your upper front yard cannot exceed, and it cannot exceed 40% of the swale.
Got it.
And, you know, if you apply for a single family, it's 3 parking spaces. And if you apply for a duplex, 5 parking spaces. Well, it's 3 plus 1, so it's 4 technically. But, and then the other one would be 4 plus 1, it's 5. Because the guest spot, you know,
Yeah, so there is some precedent where the guests,
you can park behind the cars on the guests,
Really, it's-
you know. It's really the 4 and the 3 that we really stand for. So it's up to you. I mean, we've got given you feedback. Do you have any questions more for us?
No, well, thank you. Appreciate the time. I'll speak to the owner and figure out next steps.
So it can either come back as a revised discussion item or come back and we vote on it.
My
Wanted to
suggestion would
have this
be,
wanted
yeah, my
to have this
suggestion would be
conversation with you.
just another discussion before voting, if we could do that, I don't know, next month or.
Okay, so when it comes back, it would come back as second preliminary review. We can discuss it again before voting on it. Give
Great.
you the opportunity to answer any questions that might have.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, back up to the top of the agenda. We have the minutes from February 3rd, 2025 meeting. First, I'm gonna let you guys.
I was gonna have you just review them.
Oh, thanks.
By the way, since he's in the bathroom now, I want to let you know Edward did an absolutely
did?
awful job in your stead. I was sad. I wrote about it in my diary afterwards. I was like,
Next door.
we have to get executive protection for Gage. We could not have anything happen. I hope that those walls aren't thin.
You can hear it.
Hard to draw.
I can do a motion.
Okay, motion please.
Second. Sorry, I was reading.
I'll let David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. And we'll just wait for Ed to come out and you can say hi. We'll go to the next agenda item, which will be 5B, 971 Northeast 111th, glass pool fence. Okay, so this change?
Oh, damn it.
Did you, let me know if you vote yes on the,
in the, minutes that we said?
yeah, we
Yeah.
voted already.
Oh, yes.
Okay, minutes passed 4-1, 4-0. So next, now we're at 5B, 971 Northeast 111th Street. Glass pool.
This is the fence that goes out into the side / front yard randomly, or this is a different one?
This is that one. So let me see if they've revised what they're asked for.
Goes out to 3 feet 9. Well,
Well, now they're asking, it's not actually a glass anymore. It's metal. It's metal pickets.
new aluminum pool fence.
So it's an aluminum pool fence, not glass anymore.
23'9".
And they're putting it out on the side and it is, do we have a survey? Survey 23 feet back. New aluminum pool fence. It's on page number 54 or 55, S-1. This is just for the fence. This is not that deck, which I don't know if we,
Yeah, and pergola, it says that's S2, S3 and 4, which are not included in
okay,
this.
so we're only
it's a
voting on
different
the fence.
application.
It's like the
Yeah.
picket thing again. I guess this is the new popular fence that's gonna be coming down the pike.
What all those damn young kids are doing. Motion to approve.
David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. The motion carries. Next would be 5C, 971 Northeast 11th Street. Here's the pergola. Okay, so the next one's the pergola. Okay. I have 5C. Okay, pergola. 7'6" high, 15 by 11, and it's 10 feet from the rear setback, right up against the house on the corner there, behind the new fence. Again, S1. The rest of it's all like product approval. I'll take a motion whenever everybody's ready.
Second.
David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, next would be,
Pergola, even though it's like a physical structure, it would have to meet setbacks and structural engineering. We don't consider it an accessory structure. Like someone could have a pergola like
it
this.
is technically as an accessory structure.
So could this person not then build a attached accessory structure somewhere else? Maybe not them, but someone else.
I mean, if they came back in and applied for, no, if they came in and applied for like an accessory building in the back, we'd be like, well, you already have one.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So a pergola, an open pergola, we would then deny someone an actual
Structure.
Why,
structure somewhere else in their yard.
why would
Yeah.
you call this, just curious, why would you call this that has no sides or anything like that, and that the top is able to have
It's a
wind
structure.
fully go through it? Why is it considered a structure versus, let's say, a fence?
Well, it's got a roof on it. It's got 4 posts and a roof.
But it doesn't unless the louvers are closed.
Oh, it's got a roof. I mean, it's a
The
structure.
louvers are open, then it's the same as a
It's-
fence
it's-
sideways,
It's a
right?
structure. It's not the main house. So it's got to be an accessory structure. If it's not an accessory structure, then it's not allowed at all in our code, period. We
Well,
don't allow we don't allow structures unless they fall under those 2 categories or they're a carport. I mean, I think that's the other
Yeah.
place that we.
yeah, no. I was just like curious as to the difference, if there's a difference, a definition between what this pergola is versus like a fence definition of like, okay, it's 6 fence posts stuck in the ground and a top.
Then if that was the definition, then it could only be 6 foot 6 foot high.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like, let's say that this top didn't open, right? Then I would definitely be like, yeah, that's a structure because a hurricane could rip this thing out and throw it into a neighbor's thing. But if all of this can open and it's the same as a fence on the side where the wind can go through, is that necessarily the same thing? I don't care because it's not a problem in front of us. I'm just asking
I
questions.
mean, I would get out the dictionary and look up the definition of a fence and see if that actually would.
And then I would
meet
look
this-
up
meet the-
additional, what building?
Meet the code of and actually, let's see.
We don't need to do this. We've been here for a long.
Definition of
Define it.
a definition of a fence is a constructed barrier erected to enclose, screen, or separate an area.
Aha. No, that doesn't mean
Falls
anything.
under that.
to me.
What
Don't
does it
t-
say-
you
what does
can't-
it say for accessory structure?
And tell us what it says for pergola. Can't tell me that it doesn't say that. I've seen lots of fences.
Accessory use, a building or structure, the use of which is incidental to the main building or structure and is located on the same lot and the use of which is manifestly incidental to that of the main building.
The fact that it says a building or a structure is where, if it just said a building, you say, that's not a building. But building or a structure. And our code only allows one per property?
Edward's correct.
I'm taking board time for personal reasons.
Yes.
Everyone wanted to build.
Yeah, that's why I was sitting there. I was like, Edward is shopping for himself. That's the sentence I was starting to say.
Well,
You'd be fine.
No, the pergola is 2 feet from my house, so I would just make a physical attachment and say it's part of the house. Now it's not an accessory structure. That's why I came to that. Curious if our code, maybe it's 2 accessory structures.
It actually, so. It actually, what it says is that it cannot be more than 30%. The area between the rear of the line of the house, main building, and the rear property line. It does not actually say it has to be just one structure. It just says there's a maximum of 30%.
So you could build Stonehenge.
And just while we're here, a shed is not included in that.
No, shed has its
The
own.
whole other thing, yeah. All right, sorry, let's move on.
Scarlett, you want to join in? All right, so 5D, 1009 Northeast 116th Street, metal re-roof.
Is this the one that didn't have that? Someone came before, they didn't have the little diagram.
Mhm.
So it says 24-inch overhang, colors charcoal, 8-inch fascia, 12.3, but is it all the way around? If you look at the diagram, it looks like those are gables on the end.
I'll look it up on the.
1009 North.
So this one was missing roof color, overhangs, fascia, etc. Didn't have the color or the overhang.
I'm looking at it on the interwebs.
Color.
So, yeah, unfortunately, the two ends of the house. Now this picture is slightly old, but I don't think they've changed it, but
Just charcoal.
the two ends of the house have basically like a zero edge. Yeah.
Okay. So this 24-inch overhang does not go all the way around the perimeter of that house.
Yeah. It exists for the duration of the front. And honestly, they might have changed it, but that fascia being 8 inches, I think is true of the closest area. But that deeper area, it looks like 8 inches to me. That looks like 4 inches.
Where did they get 24 inches at?
Well, I think the depth is 24, but the vertical height of the fascia, so the soffit length is
I mean,
24.
over on the right-hand side above that window, that bedroom window, whatever it is, that does not look like that is 18 inches overhang.
No, I don't mean 18 inches. So the overhang
24
part, we don't know.
They're stating that it's a 24-inch overhang.
I understand, but the fascia part, that's the 8-inch vertical, that is coming off of this, but this I do not believe is 8 inches.
Well, they're stating that it's, okay, well, yes.
That it's
I
8
hear
inch.
what you're saying.
What I'm saying
They're
is,
stating that this is a 24-inch overhang
Yeah.
around the perimeter of this house.
and what I'm saying is from the very front, that 24 part I can't see because I'm not looking underneath it, but I could tell you that it's not 8 on that part, and it has
Or
the,
24,
well, and it has the issues at the edge.
and the end gable.
Pobrecito.
So motion to deny,
Second.
or, I mean, how do we handle this?
I'd like to have them,
Documentation
I-
presented to us says it's 24, we're just basing it on looking on Google, right? So
I would like for them to come in and talk to us about this, because I don't see how they're stating it's 24 inches, and from Google Street View in the front, it is clearly not.
Well,
go to
so
the table for further clarification.
or the other thing that we could say, because I don't know.
We want photographs.
Full stuff?
I want to have photographs of all four sides, with tape measures, showing that it's 24 inches.
Or I
want
was
more.
gonna say motion and I pending solution for gabled edges of roof. There's no overhang.
Yeah, but right now,
There's no hang up around that front.
at face value, their application says they have 24, so we're just asking for confirmation of what they told us, which then they won't be able to provide, and then.
So us looking at Google Street View is not really,
Okay, so motion to table pending photographic documentation of the overhangs.
Second.
David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, so that's tabled. Understand what? Okay. 5E, 11001 Northeast 9th Avenue, metal roof. Another metal roof. By the way, some of the metal roofs that we've been approving, they look really nice around the village. I mean, there's been some really. 5.
I do wonder the rash of variance requests that led to the fact that the one rule is no variances on metal roofs.
Yeah, what, you were
That's-
involved with that. What was the reason that you decided that was the only part in the entire meeting code for the village that could not be? subject-
Because we realize that there are commissioners that are easily swayed by bleeding hearts and people bringing children and putting them up on the podium. And the board at the time wrote it in a way that we said, it can't be on the whim of, this is such an important thing for our village. And the commission approved it. We put it on there and they actually, they went ahead and they approved it. So, because,
It was Don Quixote's windmill.
swaying in the wind, basically. Okay, so
What are we on?
This one they say is a 1 foot, 12-inch, 8-inch wide fascia. David, can you look at the Google Earth?
Yeah, we're on 5E.
We're on 5E, 11001 Northeast 9th Avenue.
But they are saying that
I've looked at this house
slope
before.
require an 18-inch. Documented at 12.
Pobrecito.
So again, this is that 312 thing that the code says above 3. So I'm curious, what is this house? Oh, they actually have pictures of it. Pictures of something.
No, I mean, it has edges all around all sides and they all look the same dimensionality and the fascia width is the same. And the overhang looks like it's the same dimensionality, at least across the front and the right and the left side, which you can see.
I think this would look good with a metal roof, actually. What's the color? Is there a color?
On. Third page.
I mean, it's a gabled or a hipped roof all the way around. They actually have photographs of the overhangs. I think this would look good with a metal roof. And they satisfy our code. Now, keep in mind the 3 and above language. And this says 3.
I thought that got tightened up at some point. No. Motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, 5F, 11095 North Griffin Boulevard, pool remodel.
Is this? Oh, no, this is different.
You guys tabled a lot of stuff.
You weren't here.
This one, like the lot coverage information wasn't provided and it was possible to extrapolate from.
Wasn't this the guy that was just here, Ivanov? He had this on the agenda too?
This is the,
The guy, 6G is Stanislav Ivanov.
yeah, that's not this, this is
And
Griffin.
this is,
Alternate
This is the
LLC.
variance for the driveway gate.
Yeah,
Big
but
corner.
this is a new owner.
yeah, but if you look at the permit application, the owner is Stanislav Ivanov on the permit
No,
application.
it's not, it's Alton 8 LLC. I think you're.
Oh, am I on the wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong one. Sorry, my bad.
You can reuse that tin hat later.
5F.
Oh, yeah, there was no lot coverage, and so we would have been okay with it, except you see that little area where they said new deck area? If they hadn't added that, then we would have been fine with it, but they're adding a little bit of deck area because
They have a 41,000 square foot lot.
yes, it was very clear that they were going to be under, but they didn't do lot coverage.
Is that the only thing? I guess that.
So, but it's an existing pool. They're not making it any bigger, are they?
No, but if you notice just below that, where it has the old edge, and it says
New deck area.
existing paver deck, new deck area. So because they were adding that little piece of juice on, then it was like, oh man, now we need the lot coverage, and the lot coverage we didn't have. So
Uh-huh.
we were playing it by the book. We didn't want gate.
So that's the reason why you tabled it the last time.
Yeah, because we were.
Now, did
missing
they
out.
correct that?
Yeah, they have the lot coverage and they're at 18.51, so. Well, they're fixing the pool. The pool is a mess. So motion to approve?
It still kills me. They have such a huge backyard that they gave that guy the variance. One of his things was his kids needed someplace to play, and he's got all that backyard.
Right, and then he
I
sells.
have a motion. Who is it, David and Ed, or is it Ed and David?
David and then Ed.
David.
The good news is he'll never buy another property in Biscayne Park.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, next, 6A, 733 Northeast 118th Street, impact windows and doors.
What is actually the front
One,
of the house?
2, 3.
Going where it says front, but I guess the door is.
There's no door there. Oh, okay, I see.
Florida room is facing this front. Usually, 1, 2, 3.
They're all horizontal.
Yeah, they're all horizontal rollers. Do we know what color? So it's white, way down on the page.
So white.
Yeah. Page 73 and 75.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is going to be 6C. (970) Northeast 117th Street, roof. Is it a flat roof?
Motion to approve.
David, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
I was wondering why that top line didn't have any lines with the direction.
Next, 6D, 1075 Northeast 120th Street, exterior paint. Front door walls are kind of white.
Walls are off-white, front door is blue.
Okay. Wall color. Hold on.
Yeah, wall is.
Yeah, white. It's the white. 6150.
Pure white trim. Motion to approve.
Second.
Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next, 6F, 10920 Northeast 10th Avenue, concrete driveway. Oh. Oh, David, okay.
Yeah, trying to make an honest house out of it. So
Can't hear about it. Can't hear about it. guys. Thank you. David has recused himself and he's left the room. All right, so, lot coverage. 38.6 in the front and 26.7 on the swale. Concrete, it looks like. Yes. And he's going in from the middle with a little turn to the right thing, 18-foot wide. All the parking is on the front. You can put 2, 3, 4 cars in there if you wanted to. Pretty standard center entry driveway. Any questions?
Motion to approve?
Scarlett, Ed, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried. It was approved. All right. All right, I think that's the agenda, I believe. Everything else was discussion. We did the minutes and we did everything else, correct? All right, our next meeting will be March 10th. Everybody good with that?
Not the first Monday of holiday? Yeah.
The fact that it would be 1 week and 2 weeks. So in that way, we're gonna have March 10th and March 24th. So that's because March has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mondays in it. So we did it because of that. So everybody good with that? Can I get a motion to adjourn? And we're adjourned at 8:28. Thank you.
Edward, when you were in the bathroom, I was telling everyone how great you did.
Heard.